there. Okay, so number one, avoid over-assessing. There's no end to what you potentially can do. And if you're like most of us, you start in by looking at the potential, but not refining it down to something which is elegant in its simplicity. Make sure that when you are assessing, you're using assessment that is authentic to the real-life context in which the role play is set. So the instructions are in role. The prompts and hints are in role. The feedback is in role. So as the assessor, you're stepping into the role. We've shown you sort of a range of assessments that are currently being used, but don't be limited thinking that they're the only ones. Be creative. The KISS principle applies here as well as anywhere else. Just keep focused on what your learning objectives are and make space for the learning objectives of the students. And that basically uses whatever technology comes along. You know, we move in between wikis, blogs, online forums, text, you know, whatever is currently around that fits the purpose of the role play. So we're not limited to a technology. We're not limited to a particular manifestation of assessment. Keeping the purpose in mind, beginning with the end in mind. Okay, so over to you, audience. Are there any questions?
Well, how about some comments? It sounds fun, but it's still a lot of work. Yes, so is anything that is new. Sorry, I'll turn caps off. But do you want to be stuck in the past?
Okay, one of the things that I've learned over the years of doing online role play and blended role play is that the work is in setting up a good learning experience and a good process in the beginning. Refining it, having an iterative process to just ironing out those bugs. Once you've got a good design, to implement it is no more work than traditional methods, and in some ways can often be less because it's shared, because you become a community of learners in a role play. Currently, I run a role play that runs over 5 weeks. It's preset. The only thing that we have to do each time is change the scenario. So we change the scenario and sometimes massage the roles. We can roll out 5 weeks of learning with about 2 hours preparation. The assessment of it is no more intensive than any of the face-to-face activities that we do. So it's about good learning design.
Okay, I'm just answering. Greg asked, what platforms do we use? I run my role plays at the moment on just on a Blackboard learning management system. In the slide called More About Online Role Play, we've put links to 2 formats, the Elyssebeth platform, which is available from Australia. Thanks, Matthew. And the United States Institute for Peace, which has an excellent open platform for role play. The other one that's there, the Milcaster Tales, is a specialist one, but could give you heaps of ideas, and you could do that in a wiki, a blog, or a learning management system.
Yeah, I tend to use whatever captures the imagination of the student as we go on. So I guess one of the things that I found early up is that where you commit too heavily to a particular technology, you build in obsolescence. we see some beautiful examples of very sophisticated learning designs stuck on CDs that can't be taken off. So they really haven't kept up with the time, and the learning is not able to be, the learning design is not able to be modified easily as the technology changes. So I tend to choose the technology to suit the purposes and to suit the audience of learners that I have. At the moment, I'm experimenting in mixed mode. So we might enter the role play through a learning management system, but that really only has the log-on details and the preliminary sign-up sheet, and then off into a wiki, or students may have blogs attached to that. Quite successful role plays running in Second Life, although I just find the barriers for that too hard for a lot of the students. I'm not fussed about the technology. Technology is a tool for me.
Yep, and it's one that you've got to not become too wedded to. I'm renowned at UTS for making complaints to our technology support people to get them to remove overhead projectors from training rooms, because in every room that I now work in, we have a built-in lectern with a document projector, and I still find academic staff insisting that there be an overhead projector there, which means they do not understand what the lectern is. Now, what the hidden curriculum must be saying to the students in the room about the inability of those staff members to keep up with technology is, from my point of view, horrific. But I haven't been able to, I mean, the technical people don't feel they have the power to.
Yep, Matthew, yeah, mix of face-to-face and either online. You know, online's a bit deceptive because some of these role plays are actually using things like text, you know, the old Apple technology. Look, we're just going to see the technology getting more and more powerful, and it's really exciting to see the many different ways in which the interaction can occur. Okay, so Matthew, over to you for your survey. This is a teaser, everyone. It's a teaser. We remain available for ongoing discussions. So you can email us. We'll put our details up. Okay, over to you, Matthew.
Okay, folks, yes. I just love, please do continue. Chat in the text box down the bottom, put your hands up and speak as well. But in the meantime, if you could please kindly fill in this yellow screen, we should have the yellow screen on now, which is assisting Jeffrey Coast's ALTC project and the evaluation sort of that goes in behind that. Thank you very much.
And thanks for the opportunity, Matthew. And thanks for your patience, everybody, because we got our head around this technology.
We had rehearsed, we promised. We just hadn't ever hit the pause button in text. And I guess when you're new to something, as with role plays, I guess I'm one of the people that's convinced that learning is permeable, it's incomplete, it's never everything that's possible. And if we try to model a world for our students where they think that learning is absolute and clean and there are no problems, then we do ourselves, the education context, and the students all a disservice. I wish life I don't know whether I wish life was nice and neat and tidy, but it's not. So pretending that it is in an educational context for me is a misuse of our energies.
Okay, well, are there any questions while you're filling out the survey? Any hands up? All right, well, we're going to sign off to allow you some focus to answer those questions.
Before you go, could you put your contact details perhaps in the chat if people want to follow up?
Sure, what a good idea.
just like to take the opportunity to thank Elyssebeth and Elyssebeth for their time. It's been a very informative session.